good. Yeah, you're going to be pretty good. Okay. Another thing that's really important that comes after stance is footwork and movement. Footwork puts you in position to hit somebody, and more importantly, it gets you out of trouble. If you're dealing with a situation where you're getting hit, taking a lot of damage, you hear me all the time, my people's going to get out of there. You don't have to stay there. If it's not going good for you, leave. It allows you to reset the whole situation. So your footwork is really, really important. And being able to move with good footwork that keeps you in your stance. That's the other thing. Because if Rebecca and I are fighting and she rushes at me and I want to throw a cross, that's not going to work. She'll smash that. But now she rushes at me and I want to throw a cross. Boom! Now I got it. But that's because I had my footwork and I was still in what? My stance. Okay? So footwork is very important. So everybody stand. We're going to move forward. All right? So what you do, I always tell everybody is, whatever direction you're moving in, that's the foot that moves first. And it's just like playing basketball. Push yourself in that direction. So we're going to push with the rear foot to the lead foot. All right? Stand. Everybody pushes one step. One step again. One step again. And now you'll notice, look at my stance. I'm still in my stance. Don't let your feet get here. That's not a stance. I got nothing there. We're not ballerinas. Can't fight from here. Okay? All right, now we're going to go back. So now we're going to push off the left leg, the lead leg, and move backwards. Ready? One step. One step. One step. One more. One step. All right, good. All right. Everybody relax. What you're going to do is this, 1 minute. I want you to work that stance on your own, going backwards and forwards, and I'm going to walk around and check you out. Do it ready full time. Go. Jeff, don't fall down the stairs. I haven't showed you back the road yet. All right, time, relax. Good, good, good. Everybody's footwork is doing pretty good because I noticed one of the things about all of y'all is you weren't rushing. And I had that just in my class probably about a month ago. I had some new people who they were doing their footwork and they were going. And I was like, I said, stop rushing. They just kept doing this. I said, okay, I got you. So I went and got my samurai sword. And I got in front of them and said, try that again. Because what happens is, again, one of the hardest things to create on the training floor, and I know y'all know that with Krav Maga training, is it's hard to recreate a real scenario. And that's why y'all got stress drills and things like that. When you're you got to make the person mad. And that's horrible for martial arts schools. That's when we lose our business. Whenever I get real, customers fall off because everybody wants to play. They want to learn fancy stuff. They just show off. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to show you something so you don't get killed someday. And that's putting that frame of mind in that fearful, thought pattern. But the thing is that when you're doing the footwork, they're not thinking about the fact that when she comes at me, she can run into that. Because they're just having fun trying to move fast, trying to beat the person next to her. So when I brought that sword out, and I was moving at them and moving this way, now they're more careful with how they were moving. And that's what you want to think with your footwork. Never throw yourself out of control. Boom! That's when you're running into something. I saw all of y'all doing pretty good with that. Okay. Now we're going to face this way. You guys can face me and watch. And then you're going to turn that way. We're going to go sideways. Same stance. Okay? Going to the left. Pushing off the right leg first. Make sure you keep your stance. All right? This is not a stance. Don't get caught here. somebody push you and fall over. You gotta make sure you're here so if they push you, you can still defend against it. All right, so we'll go right foot, and then left, push with the left foot. Again, don't let your feet come together. A good solid stance. Little bitty baby steps if they have to be. Okay, everybody stands. We're gonna move to the left, one step at a time. Step, 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 step. All right, now we're gonna go right, pushing off that left leg. Step, 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 step. All right, relax. Okay, for 1 minute, don't work the side with footwork. Go. First, you know you record whatever you want to, right? I'll be sure. Yeah, keeping those hands up, because you never know when the person's going to throw something at you.
You did get the good side, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Which one is that again, Dave?
The one behind me.
Don't let them come too close, little. Small steps. My side footwork, the baby steps. But you don't have to rush to get to it. Having something to back them into is what saves you from having to rush. All right, relax. Everybody go take it out. One of my students had a fight on Bellator, and one of my top guys, and he was setting up his opponent. He had a really good opponent. Letting him kick his leg. He kept collapsing. On his first round, it just came out. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And I kick the crap out of his legs all the time. So there can't be nothing. And I was going to tell him to start checking the kick. And I said, no way his legs hurt. He's setting him up. And so sure enough, the dude threw the kick. Boom. My fighter went in, whoa, rushed the bag, just lit him up. All right? The guy that he was fighting did this, cracked his orbital ball on my fighter, just from doing that. Caught him off guard, but you know why? Because my fighter went in out of control. He had too much force going forward. He couldn't stop himself when he saw the punch coming. So never rush engaging. You know, you can always engage slow. If you need to get to him and he's running from you, get him against the wall. Find something to put behind him. Cut everything off and slowly get him against that wall. But it was when he had this guy, he's about to knock him out, and that guy just like that, hit him down and dropped. And I was like, what the heck was that? Didn't even hit him home. That's all it takes sometimes, you know. Hit like that on chain can knock you out. Just get hit in the right spot. Okay, now I want everybody to do for 1 minute. You're just going to do your own footwork, and awareness is always important. Sometimes I have 50, 60 students on my floor, and they don't run into each other. Because I tell them the first thing is, you got to watch where you're going. You're in a self-defense situation, you got all your stuff, you're ready to go. Oh, you just fell down some stairs. You didn't get the fight yet. Okay? So what you're going to do now is just want you working your own footwork. Going sideways, forwards, turning, trying to get comfortable with using the footwork. Okay? All right, right? 1 minute. Go. You can work around, turn around, go find different areas of the room. Get comfortable using your footwork. Same thing, not being afraid to move. Not being afraid to go places. Sometimes your footwork will get a little off. Always remember, always tell everybody, always gonna make mistakes. But the only true mistake is when you acknowledge the mistake that you made. You don't acknowledge it in the fight. mistake with your footwork, keep moving, get to what's correct. All right, everybody relax. Okay, any questions on footwork? And just so you know, everything in the martial arts is hypocritical. Does everybody understand that? Things change, you know. It can change depending on who's trying to use it. It can change depending on who you're trying to use it on. It can change depending on the environment. It can change depending on the terrain. It can change depending on your medical condition. You know, if you have a bad knee, a bad back, that changes what you can and can't do. You know, so even with footwork, a lot of the rules I'm going to tell you today, they change. And always remember, you know, everybody does things differently, and it doesn't necessarily always make things right or wrong. Okay? But the thing is, with footwork, you hear me tell you, keep your feet together, and this and that, but then you'll see me or my profilers, and you know, we're doing all this kind of stuff and doing things like that, but that's because we know the timing of when we can do things like that, the energy of our opponent, the space and the distance that's going to allow us. And we also develop other skills with our muscle development and things like that that allows us to move certain ways, or we're trying to draw him in. You see us, I'm going to tell you all the time, keep those hands up. But then you see us with our hands like this. So we're trying to suck them in, so we can counter and do something to it. So there's always, remember, there's always going to be hypocritical. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move into punch.